For joining us. A potential strike involving almost 500 Duluth City workers isn't going to happen after all.
Yeah, a tentative agreement was reached between the union and the city. It comes after months of tense back and forth negotiations.
Northern News Now's Isabella Zandra spoke with both sides about what this means for the services we all rely on and the workers who carry them out.
Members of AFSCME Local Union 66 and Council 5 packed Duluth City Hall on Monday, waiting for the solution they've been working towards for months.
We are proud to announce that AFSCME Local 66 had finally reached a tentative agreement with the City of Duluth.
After a 12-hour negotiation session, an arrangement was hammered out between the union and the city. The workers involved, ranging from snowplow drivers to librarians and many other critical city services. The new tentative arrangement involves a 3-year contract. It includes competitive wage increases around 8 to 12%, improvements to working conditions, and commitment to retention and recruitment, which will help address staffing shortages seen in these city services. Wendy Woolman is the president of AFSCME Union 66, and although she is happy with the results, she believes it should have happened a lot sooner.
We asked for dates from the employer in February. It took them till July to sit down and negotiate with us.
Mayor Reiner didn't see the length of the negotiation as an issue.
It's a difficult conversation. I don't know that any important conversation in life is a short one.
Reiner acknowledges the process was difficult at times, but is thankful both parties were able to find the middle ground.
It just and a feeling of assurance that our most capable, skilled, talented people are still here, they're with us, and they're ready to respond to those critical services.
This fight was always about more than wages. It was about dignity, respect, and ensuring Duluth remains a pro-union community.
In Duluth, Isabella Zadra, Northern News Now.
Union members will be voting on the new agreement next Tuesday, and union leaders believe it will be ratified. City Council will then have the final vote on January 27th.